Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cropper here. Vietnam, everybody has an opinion on it, and usually the opinion is, I don't care. I don't know very much and I don't care. That's usually the opinion nowadays. But I want to talk for a minute about whether or not we won. Now, I got a set of books, or Bobby Sue found a set of books, Time Life books, 25 of these for $25. And I read a couple of them and skimmed through a few others and read quite a bit of them. And I'll be reading through them a bit more and doing some more on them, but then I'm going to do a series on the Vietnam War. So let this just be a precursor to my basic overview of what I might say. Lots of details that I think are worth visiting inside that war. But overall, we fought the bastards there from 57 to 72. Now, from 57 up to, what, 64 or 65, I think, we didn't have any troops on the ground. What we had on the ground were advisors, trainers, non-combat personnel that were combat personnel that were there to train. Only like 600 or 800 or 5,000 towards the end or whatever, and then all of a sudden it ballooned up to 500,000 men in like a year. Because who was there? What was Vietnam was this jungle country and the communists were taking over, so America went in. No. The French were there. The French were already there. Now, Ho Chi Minh, you guys have heard of Ho Chi Minh. He's different from Mao Zedong. Mao Zedong was the Chinese guy. Ho Chi Minh is the Vietnamese guy. Ho Chi Minh, who may have died in a prison in the 1930s, he's an elusive figure behind the scenes, may not even really exist as an actual figurehead, who knows. It might just be a personality that's manipulated as the public figurehead, and there's just a junta of military people ruling and fighting a clique, fighting each other behind the scenes. That's what some people believe. Anyways, Ho Chi Minh was educated in Paris. Paris. Why would he push his nation into bloody communism then? Why would he cooperate with the Chinese? Why would he take money and weapons from the Russians and try to fight the Americans? Oh, he was educated in Paris. Now, we did lose in Vietnam, didn't we? Our helicopters were taking off from the embassy and people climbing on at the very last moment, and poor suckers that were left behind. We lost, but in another sense, we kind of did win in the way that we won the Cold War with Reagan in the 80s. He wouldn't back down. He started spending and spending and spending, and he started saying he's going to do Star Wars, scared the Russians white. All the red blood from their face or something. No, don't worry about that. Scared the Russians stiff, and their empire collapsed. Maybe coincidentally, their empire was in pretty bad shape. But some say that Reagan really did give it a push from this side, saying we're going to develop new weapons and ways to defend ourselves. Well, that's kind of what we did in Vietnam. We held them up and cost them a lot of money. Now, if the Russians are busy worrying about our Star Wars system, they're not going to be too busy on a lot of other plans and devious schemes. If we've got some massive central thing that they have to focus on, that's going to distract them from the other. Like, you couldn't have gotten China and Russia to squeeze a lot more money out for another large war somewhere. So if they wanted to open another front in Africa or something, let's say, I mean, they did. There were actually, a half dozen wars going on at any time that were being contributed to by the communist states. But I mean a big war where America was there with hundreds of thousands of troops. They wouldn't have been able to do other Vietnams. Vietnam was a major cost to them. Now, Vietnam happened while America had inflation, paid extra taxes, and went along. We had a draft that took some people out. Tour of duty was 1 year and 1 month. Very different from the American tour of duty in the Pacific or in the Atlantic during World War II, which was you come in, if you get injured, you go home, but only if it's bad enough. If it's not bad enough, then you heal up in a hospital and go back to the front when you're ready. That's a different sort of draft than 1 year and 1 month and you're out of here. And some of the guys would come out of the jungle be on a plane and be home within 72 hours. There was no waiting for 3 months in some camp to get on some ship to take a 22-day journey across the sea. No. It was on an airplane back to the States. That was it. So, very different experience from World War II. Not quite the point here. The point was the communists couldn't have fought another Vietnam. The way that we fought World War II on 2 fronts, the communists could have. I just don't think so. So I think in that sense we won. We kept them busy. We cost them a lot of money. We drained their economy. Destroyed Vietnam. I think we fought it incorrectly. I think we should have invaded China. You know, MacArthur said he wanted to nuke China and was fired within a week or two. I think that there are better things we could have done and different ways to fight Vietnam. We could have went in to fight it instead of just going in to kill people who were shooting at us and then pull back and then go in and see if they shoot again and kill them and pull back. That was a ridiculous way to fight. True. But we won it all the same because we kept the communists busy. It only cost us 57,000 men. No, pardon me. 37,000, I believe. I believe the 50-some thousand was Korea. Only cost us near 40,000 men over 15 years of involvement. Lots of money, but the point is it really kept the communists busy. In that sense, we won. And stay tuned to my channel for the upcoming video series if you want to know more about Vietnam.